Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be unboxing, installing and reviewing this Auxbeam switch panel. And it is, ta-da, empty. And that's because I've already installed it. Let's have a look at what we did. Alright, so you can see the unit here on our half finished center console. So obviously it all lights up on accessories, and then we've got a button set up here. At the moment I've just got an on-off button set up and a momentary button set up. So this is a sponsored product that's been sent to me by Auxbeam, which I am super grateful for. Thank you Auxbeam for that. But this is going to be a truthful review, so we're going to look at the good and the bad and come up with a bit of an honest overview at the end of the video. And you know, I'm not going to tear shreds off anything, and I'm certainly not going to only cover the good. I want this to be something that you can look at and weigh up the good and the bad, and whether you choose to buy this product or not. In saying that, if you do want to buy this product or any other Auxbeam product, you can use the code Will's Landcruiser on the screen right here and get 12% off. So that's really cool. That was awesome of Auxbeam to organize. So yeah, head over to their website and use that code whenever you want to buy anything Auxbeam. Alright, so just quickly I want to go back to first impressions of opening this box. So obviously we've got the sticker, we've got a panel of icons that stick to the switch panel, and some customizable ones down the bottom right. We've got our control box here with all of our fused accessory inputs. As you can see, we've got set amperages for each input. Got our main 60 amp breaker here, which I think is a fantastic idea, and it all looks really quality so far. And then of course we've got all our mounts, wiring, nuts and bolts. I'm just having a quick flick through the instruction pamphlet here, and gee, it's actually a pretty detailed set of instructions. This is good. You don't actually get this with a lot of products. So talks about the automatic dimmable function of the panel and a few things like that, which I can go into more detail later. Obviously how to wire it all up. It's got its own app for iPhone or Android, so it talks about how that works, and yeah, it looks like there's a fair bit to that. So the other thing that Auxbeam have sent through are these two mounting plates for the control box. So they're actually like an exact mirror of each other, so that you've got a few options of like which side of the car you want to mount them on. For instance, I'm thinking about mounting it here on the firewall, and then you can see that the holes actually like line up there, so you've got an option to have it like that or around like that, or obviously flipped, and then a few different options on the other one as well. So that's really cool. They seem like pretty good plates, nice protective paint coating on them, so that's cool. Okay, so this is an 8-function switch panel. Each spot for a switch is actually a different amount of amps because of the control box. There's a different size fuse for each one of these. I think there's like 230s, 220s, 210s and 25s, something like that. So yeah, I think it's really cool that we've got different options here, but it is a bit limiting to what you want in what spot because of the amperage that the accessory has to be. What I do love is that, as I mentioned before, you can have on off, or you can set it to momentary, or you can set it to flash. Like, you can have different settings for each button that are pre-programmed, and that's really cool. They're real buttons. I love that. I love that you can actually push a button, and you can dim the brightness of this, and you can also change the color through the app, which we will go into soon. All right, so I'm parked in a dark shed at the moment, and I just wanted to show you the auto dimming function. So you can see that it starts up quite bright, and then it actually dims as it realizes that it's not bright in the car. So I think that is a really cool feature as well. As I pointed out earlier in the video, you've got a heap of these different icons that come with the panel, and that's great. It looks really good with icons, but what I do wish is that maybe there was a way to turn the backlight off for these other ones, because at night it can be quite bright when they're just shining there in your face, and I do wish we could have them off and only have illuminated the ones that we've actually set up. I can give you a bit of a glimpse of the app here. Once you're connected to the device, it's actually not too bad to use. As you can see, you can change the color of the backlight and the brightness. You can go and change what the function of the buttons is, whether that's on, off, momentary, or strobe. And of course you can set icons and all that stuff. Personally, I find that the app probably needs a bit of work. There's some spelling mistakes. It takes a lot of effort to connect to the device every single time you want to connect. It's kind of messy, like it's not very well organized. Personally, I think this is probably the area that Auxbeam really could put a lot of effort in and bring this product up to the next level. All right, so now that I've got the control box all set up, you can see it's had its first wash as well already. I can finally go into some detail about that. So this is the control box here. And like I was saying earlier, we've got a preset amperage here. As you can see, it's not just the fuse, it's actually written on here. So 230s, 220s, 210s and 25s. I do love how just the whole concept of this panel is awesome, that you don't have to run all of these wires back in to like through the firewall and mess up the grommets that go into your firewall and stuff. No, it's just one wire, which is really handy, and then you can just run all your accessories to here. So right now I've got this light bar set up that I'll do another video on later on, and yeah, it's all just really neat. We've got a big cutout 60 amp fuse here, so we know that everything's protected by fuses there and there, which is really cool. So yeah, really convenient, looks neat. All of the hardware is really quality. Like, I think that everything's been set up pretty right. Didn't have any trouble with any of that. The plate's really good and firm. I had to make another little reinforcement bracket here, but yeah, that's not going anywhere. Now, one thing that was a bit of a pain, I did have to die grind out a heap of holes in this thing, because I don't think they really took into account the size of the wires that you'd actually have to run out, you know, to get ample power to this. I went to the hardware store, even though it did come with leads, I went and bought 60 amp wire, specifically 60 amp wire, so that I knew it was going to be capable. I could have it to exactly the length I wanted. It's all nice and neat, and yeah, all 60 amp cable. But yeah, I had to go and diagram these holes in to the cover, so that that was all going to sit nice and safely and not cut anything off, obviously. Another thing that I wish that was a bit different was when you've got accessories on and you set something going, for instance, if it was your light bar or your diff lockers or whatever, as soon as you turn the accessories off, turn the car off and turn the car back on, it's forgotten what you had on. Everything's been turned off again. So that is something that I think could be improved. There could be a memory stored, like, there's constant power to the control box, so why can't it remember that you had the light bar selected on? So just another thing that I'd probably change. So that brings us to about the end of the video, and I want to end this product review by asking the question, would I recommend that you buy this Auxbeam control panel? And the answer is yeah. I think that it is a really good product. The whole convention of only having to run accessories into the engine bay is really great. Obviously, that's trouble when you've got interior accessories that you now have to run outside the firewall. But generally, if you've got light bars and air compressor and diff lockers, it's all going to be engine bay stuff, or at least exterior to the cab. So yeah, it's really handy to have this all in the engine bay and just a control panel inside. I think that it's all the hardware is quality. The software, the app, I wouldn't say the same for. I honestly don't think that that's very well made. But you know, you only have to connect to the control panel to set things up, set your light and your intensity and all that stuff. So you don't have to really use the app after you've set your things up. So for that reason, yeah, I think that it's a really good product, and I would buy this, and I recommend that you would buy this too. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hope you found this interesting. If you're looking at an Auxbeam control panel yourself, or stuck on what to do for the accessories in your car, anyway, this is really great. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.